Hey everybody, this is Jeremy Gaffney. I'm executive producer at Carbine Studios. What we want to do today is just take a little walk through what our friends and family content is like. We got a bunch of testers in the game right now, giving us all sorts of feedback. We want to give a little behind-the-scenes peek at all of this. We're testing all sorts of good new systems. And we've been working on combat, so now you can kind of aim your spells anywhere. We call it freeform targeting. Line up a creature and bam, you can just knock it down. Or you see a bunch of creatures, and you can try to get them all in your area of effects to try to do as much damage as you can, as fast as you can. This applies to monsters too. We call it battlefield control, where they're trying to control parts of the battlefield, you're trying to control parts of the battlefield. And this means combat has lots of motion, and has lots of action. There's also much more of a strategic element to it. So even in a one-on-one fight, you're getting creatures that are trying to take away parts of the battlefield while you're trying to do as much damage as you can to them, as fast as you can. And this applies even in the low levels. You know, this is in our level 6 through 10 zone. You're already starting to see big fights, tough creatures. And also you're able to start interacting with the environment in really interesting ways. You know, this blue rock's called Loftite, and it makes you lighter than air when you get near it. So you can super jump. Whenever you see that kind of blue crystal, you can use this to bounce around through the world. And we've hidden all sorts of things in the environment where this is one of our stealth classes. They sneak up to a crate, they set off the fireworks, now it starts damaging everything in the area so that you can leap in and attack it, and like a little advantage in combat for learning about the environment. These things aren't just small things, you know, they're big ones too. In this area of the zone, there's a giant robot that's been dug up, and now it's starting to shoot laser beams, destroy things in the area. It hurts monsters, it can hurt you. You've got to interact with it while you're doing all these fights. And now we're like level 10, level 12, and we're starting to show more about the Elden. Now that's that mysterious race. They disappeared and they left all this crazy stuff behind like that robot, and you gotta figure out why. So we talked about paths already. You know, this is your playstyle. If you're a soldier, you choose a combat playstyle, and now about 20% of your quests become about doing big public events, doing missions that are all about combat, new ways of beating stuff up. Or you're an explorer. Now that same percentage of content becomes about sneaking up and dodging avalanches and trying to find the highest vistas in the zones. Well, we've added two new ones. You got the scientists, all about studying things, studying animals, studying things in the environment. The more you study, the more you learn, the more powerful you get. There's also settlers now. These guys are all about building up the world so that you take the towns, you take the quest hubs, you make them stronger. You add new vendors, you add new powerful things for players to do inside of them. In this case, adding a mount vendor, you can extend the taxi system. So let's talk environments. This is Gallerus. This zone's maybe level 10 through level 20. What we try to do is give you all sorts of different environments within it to be able to play in. This means different puzzles hidden in different places. It means different visual styles throughout the zone. Some areas are dark and brooding and nasty. Some areas are lighter or happier. What we're really trying to do is make sure you don't get bored. These games take hundreds of hours to play, and so we want to make sure that you're getting a whole bunch of different visual stimuli and also different gameplays throughout it. So here's a big battlefield, and you're fighting for control of one of the cities in the zone. And what this means is that you're having a different kind of experience here than you are elsewhere, and we keep on varying this up. And every half hour or so, we like to throw a curveball at you to keep on making sure things are interesting for you. So our goal here was to cover about 45 hours of content in under 4 minutes. That has proved to be impossible. There's still a ton more that we need to talk about, including what are these strange floating islands up in the sky. So keep an eye on our Wildstar Wednesdays. We love interacting with our fans, and so we'll just keep on putting up more and more information and listening to you, the fan. Thank you very much.